Okay, folks, the bark caroler really might be onto something here when he's using coronal hole streams to predict seismicity in volcanoes here on Earth. Now, he looks at the solar plasma, the solar wind speed and density uh, from these coronal holes, and he uses it to predict earthquakes. And after a few days of inactivity, we had two 6-point earthquakes pretty close together. The first one right here along this region we've been telling you guys about, 6.5 in southern Mexico. We also had a 6.2 in the South Sandwich Islands, which is one of the areas he had actually put on alert. In addition to this being correct, we had some increased seismic activity in the Caribbean and Cocos Plate region, which we've had our eyes on for a while. And oddly enough, these volcanoes are always going off in Hawaii, but they have a pretty good idea of where they are and where the danger zone is, or at least they thought so. One of the lava streams just hit a community. Now you're looking here, this is last night when the first bit of the coronal hole stream hit us, and then you can see dip back down, and that yellow there is the speed of the solar wind, and you can see it went from 500 down there to 350 and then back up to 500. It's really been spiking. Got to look into his theory here. A lot of you might know that in a couple of days Comet Lovejoy is going to come up and hit the sun. Now I'm right now kicking myself for not recording this before, and here's why. And as this thing comes up to the sun, I know some of you have probably looked at this before and checked out the close approach. I could have sworn that yesterday that said 0.0060 AU, and now it's 0.0050 AU. Now, folks, we already know this thing's going to hit the sun. It's not going to survive perihelion, but here we go again with NASA changing the JPL trajectory. We'll have to keep an eye on this pretty much this entire week, and obviously watch out for flares and CMEs as it hits the sun. We might have to wait that long. We have some magnetic filaments that became seriously active as most of us were sleeping last night here on the western part of the globe. As you can see here, we had some Hyder flares and some ejections associated with them. Now, unfortunately, the Soho-Lascaux images are more than a day behind. It is currently 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is about 1 o'clock in the afternoon Universal Time, 1300, but on the 11th. This is more than a day behind, unfortunately. But luckily, that's why we have multiple satellites up there. Now we pull up the stereo ahead here, so Earth's off to the left. We can see there's the first one coming out and the second one. The bottom of it does appear like it's going horizontally, which is right where the Earth is. Here's its stereo behind, so the Earth's off to the right, looking at it from the other direction. Looks like we may get clipped by some of this ejectorate material. Now, none of the CME evolution Enlil spirals have been updated to show this, but let's just keep an eye on it and say it might be Earth-directed. Be safe, everyone.